Big news in AI today. There are claims that Meta handed over AI data to China and then lied to Congress about it. Is that true? And if so, is there something good that can come out of all this? Let's hope so. Sarah Wynne Williams, a former executive at Meta, is testifying today in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Wynne Williams was the director of global public policy at Facebook, now Meta, from 2011 to 2017 when she was fired. She just released a tell-all book you may have heard of. It's been making some headlines recently, called Careless People, talking about what the executives at Facebook did in terms of sharing data with China, including AI and potentially user data. She alleges that AI shared AI information with China and then lied about it to Congress. That's kind of concerning. Now, I don't usually read these kinds of books. I'm not a fan of tell-all or corporate drama books, but I was reading some of her testimony today and I thought it probably merited just a little bit of attention. So this is from her opening statement today. When Beijing demanded that Facebook delete the account of a prominent Chinese dissident living on American soil, they did it, and then lied to Congress when asked about the incident in a Senate hearing. Meta does not dispute these facts. They can't. I have the documents. As recently as this Monday, they claimed they do not operate services in China. Another lie. Their own SEC filings from last year show that China is now Meta's second biggest market. I mean, if that's true, and I'm sure I need to say allegedly all over the place here, if that's true, that is huge. And this is coming just a week before Meta's antitrust trial. They are accused of illegally suppressing competition when they acquired Instagram and WhatsApp. If those allegations are proven to be true, I think Congress could decide to break up Facebook or Meta and spin off Instagram, sell off WhatsApp. So this is coming at a time when there's already scrutiny on Meta, and it's a little bit concerning. Okay, so let's pause here. I generally don't like to report just negative news, and I don't like to just bring the salacious story, especially when we don't have all the details yet. But I can't imagine she would make that claim if she doesn't have something to back it up. So, what are the positives of this story? First positive, if these allegations are true, she's a whistleblower, and I think we need to applaud the whistleblowers a lot more. It takes so much courage to stand up in front of a tech giant like Meta and say, I know what you did, and I know you're going to try to bury me for saying it, but I have to speak up. Side tangent. I, of course, do wish that she had spoken up at the time. I think she might have to answer for that. That is a little concerning. So if she's exposing real wrongdoing and bringing some transparency, that's a positive. That's a win. Secondly, Congress is reacting to this. They are responding. They've brought her in, they've formed a subcommittee, and are looking into it. They're taking these allegations seriously. And they should. We've seen AI making just monumental leaps of progress from week to week recently. And this tool is more powerful than anything we have seen before. And there just needs to be a lot of thought and a lot of caution as it's being developed. So I think it's positive that Congress is taking this seriously. And also positive, Congress has made moves recently to stop deepfakes and to attempt to make sure that copyright law is not being infringed. So I think it's positive that people are putting real thought and attention into what's happening and how do we want to shape it going forward? What do we want to protect and what do we want to promote? And I don't think any one person has the answers, but I do think the more thought and discussion that goes into it, the better the outcome will be. And outside of our Congress, there are many, many groups really all over the world that are working to make sure the ethics of AI and the availability of AI and the openness of AI is protected to some extent. They want to make sure that it is built in as ethical a way as possible And not only that, but also is available to everyone because this is such a game-changing revolution. Think the internet kind of revolution. This is not something that should be behind a paywall. And you can see that. Most of the models have some version of free AI, and that is to be hugely applauded. And many of the models are open source. So that means it's not just accessible on a can I use it scale, but it's available to be incorporated into your own product, into your own life, into your own creations. I had no plans to read the book, Careless People, but I'm thinking now I might get a copy and read it just to get a fuller picture of what she's saying, what the risks might be, and maybe what has already happened. So hopefully some good can come out of all of this. If nothing else, some attention to some of the pitfalls there might be out there and maybe some of the additional guardrails we might need to put up going forward. And it will be interesting to see what comes of her testimony and if she has any other documentation that comes out in the next week or two. So best case, a little more awareness, a little more accountability, and a greater push toward ethical AI development. Thanks for watching. See you next time.